International. And right now it's time for our second segment. We said in the beginning of our show that we're going to be talking about immunity. But this time we're not going to talk about the immunity system in the human body. We're going to relate the word immunity with the homeland, which is homeland immunity. We're going to know the details about the meaning of these two words together with our guest, Dr. Magdy Badran, member of the Egyptian Society of Allergy and Immunology. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor. And first of all, I wanted to understand more, or you explain to us, what you mean by the homeland immunity?
Immunity of the country, immunity of Egypt, is the result of the immunity of the citizens, the Egyptians. If the immunity of the individuals decrease, the immunity of the country will decrease. And during my work, I imagine that I examined a very old lady, about 7,000 years old age, came to me with a lot of complaints. Headache, allergy, and the allergy made every citizen allergic to his neighbor, to his brother, to his friend, urticaria in social relation with the people, confusion, laziness. You see the change in the character of the mother. So I discovered a lot of viruses invaded the body of it. For example, virus of laziness, virus of hatred.
It's something psychological.
Yes, like that, but mix it between psychology and immunology. And you will find that if you focus on the viruses invaded our society, you will find that all of us now are suffering from something like immunodeficiency.
Mm-hmm. And how can you relate what you're saying with what's happening now in Egypt?
All of us have to know that every disease must be diagnosed and must be solved. And diagnosis depend on the new investigation to find this diagnosis. Number one, you have to accept that immunodeficiency affects all of us. Affects the work, affects the achievement, the progress, affects the daily life of everyone in this country. Number two, that we are suffering of a lot of diseases, new diseases, for example, the laziness, for example, the premature senility or premature aging. You will find a lot of people now lacking culture, lacking the new meaning of the value of life, value of time, value of science, value of work. You have to encourage generations to develop their abilities, to have a spirit of achievement, to motivate themselves and to motivate others around them to increase the productivity of each one in this country.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to ask you about the diseases, to know which kind of vaccines to take. So you mentioned some of them.
Yes.
How can we work on it? Because demotivation is something very important.
It needs, each one of us has to ask himself, I am better than before. Tomorrow I'll become better than today, like that. We have to progress ourselves. We have to increase our cleverness in understanding, in forgiving, in the work, in collecting new information every day, increasing our abilities, compare ourselves to the others around us in the world, and to even the achievement of ourselves must be increasing daily by that.
Mm-hmm. Sir, I mean, do you relate this with what's happening in Egypt, the political events that are taking place in Egypt? I mean, do you see the diseases reflected in instability, division in the country? There are diseases or kinds of diseases.
All of us are suffering from a disease more or less related to what is happening now. And as a result, the immune defense of all of us are suffering from the difference from between one another, different in the percentage. For example, you will find someone collapsing, other one is still alert, still other one is in between. And you can see immunity will prevent any disease from attacking you. It prevents dangers, brings risks, brings threats, hazards. If you have nice immunity or strong immunity, you will become immune.
So
and
how
you resist.
can we strengthen this immunity in Egypt? I think it's really difficult. How can we strengthen
I think
it in
it is
Egypt?
easy. You have to develop a kind of forgiving people around you, to attract them to become with you, to understand them and to hear them and to negotiate with them, and everything must be solved with negotiation, with talk, not by force, and to be sure that all of us belong to one country, and if you like this, we are one family, and forget the viruses, new virus, which will make us hating each other, hating the people around us, or hating the opponents, or hating ourselves at the end.
Mm-hmm. This is something very important, but how are you going to apply it? I mean, okay, when you tell us these things,
everyone,
we all know this.
In the family you can start.
But when it comes to the country, we are talking about people in charge of the country, because citizens, they are looking for what you are saying, of course, but I'm talking about the country in large. How can we apply this?
The heads must also do this, not only citizens. The heads also, the people in power, they have to apply this. So you start with your family, your work, your society, your program, your channel, your university. Anyone can have to do this. We look for the immunity of the whole country, and you know that any deficit, any deficiency of the immunity of one individual, of any organization, will affect the immunity of the whole country. For example, if you have a weak point in a place, weak point in a street, a weak point in an organization, lack of cleanliness, a lot of dirt in a place, this will affect the total result of the immunity of the country.
Mm-hmm. So as I told you like minutes ago, that the Egyptian society is now suffering from division between its people.
Yes.
How can we, in your opinion, how can we increase or strengthen the patriotism among people?
There is a great equation. You have to know that there is a positive relation between the morale and the productivity of the individual. So if you increase his loving of himself, you have to love yourself. Number one, if you love yourself, you have to love your mother. Number three, if you love your mother, you have to love the country. Number four, be aware that we'll love you and the country will love you if your productivity increased. So by this, I think we can, all of us gather and just be strong in making yourself better and making all the people become better, and the country will become much better.
I hope so.
Yes, we hope that we can all work together as one man, because this is exactly what we need these days. Dr. Magdy Badran, member of the Egyptian Society of Allergy and Immunology, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And just as we watched right now,